Which type of tattoo makes you cringe the most? A defendant in the courtroom I clerked in during law school had homicide tattooed on his face. Over his eyebrow. Not a great look. Any tattoos of genitals or an anus makes me cringe. Has anyone else seen the video of the girl at a tattoo convention getting her butthole tattooed? Just me. Okay. Memes. The thought that a lot of people have dead memes from 2017 in their arms or legs is kinda funny. Imagine having a troll face meme on you in 2020. Couple tattoos like portraits or names. Mostly when they proudly tell you it's because they've been together for 5 months and just know they stay together forever. The more shit a couple does to prove they're gonna be together happy forever, the less I believe they're gonna be together happy forever. In high school, we always joked about the art class curse, where the moment some poor, love-struck girl decides to paint a picture of her and her boyfriend, they're guaranteed to break up less than 2 months later. I work with the deceased. I've seen a direct correlation between "only God can judge me" tattoos and being a victim of gunshot homicide. Juggalo tattoos don't bode well for MVAs. Tasmanian devils go hand in hand with gastric bleeds from chronic alcohol consumption. The clinically depressed seem to like dolphins. Tattoos that are gifts from you to someone else. For example, for your birthday. I got your birth date tattooed on me, and tattoos with spelling errors. Example, were you really there if you think you were there? I thought tattoo presents were just paying for your friend's tattoo. I'm glad I didn't know that. And wish I could unknow it. Knew of a guy once who had dubstep tattooed on his chest in very, very large letters. He also insisted that dubstep was the future of music and was here to stay. Even if it was here to stay, that's still a really stupid tattoo. It would look equally stupid to have pop or hip-hop on your chest too. Well, there goes my planned Gregorian chanting tat then. Nothing says, I've been to prison for cooking meth in my trailer, like a Joker neck or face tattoo. I knew a guy who got a green question mark because his name was Maurice and because of that song. I'm a joker. I'm a smoker. I'm a midnight toker. I'm a comic book fan and told him that's the Riddler's symbol. The Joker's symbol, if any, is the Joker's face. He hung his head and was like, yeah, I know. I don't know the exact English word, but in German it's called ass antlers. I'm not sure what it's actually supposed to represent, but it kind of looks like you've got a deer tossing your salad inside your pants. Haha, while I like this interpretation, I'm pretty sure it's their word for a tramp stamp. Lips on the neck. I get it. You're a gangster with an attitude problem and probably want to fight. Come to New Mexico. You'll see this so goddamn much. On both men and women. That you'll get used to it and it'll stop bothering you. You get a lot of people with Albuquerque and the New Mexico state symbol tatted on them as well. ABQ is notorious for shitty tats. A lot of the work I've seen since living here is really bad, honestly. The state symbol is pretty cool though. Coming from a Canadian. Sayings. Especially ones that span multiple limbs areas. I was in the army with a guy from Texas that thought he was hard as woodpecker lips. Had "cowboy the fuck up" tattooed across his forearms, ostensibly so if he put his fists up to fight you. You would read it in. I don't know. Be scared or something. He never got in any fights that I know of. But due to the size he wanted it in shitty planning. One arm said cowboy and the other arm simply read fuck up. And he immediately became known as Cowboy the fuck up. Dumbass PV2 Waldo gets me my first gold award, lol, thanks stranger. It took me a minute to realize that it was supposed to be about being a badass and not cowboy. The fuck up. After being around some of the younger guys from my husband's units, the latter seemed pretty plausible. I hooked up with woman who has a tramp stamp which reads, damaged. The font is fairly terrible, so the first time we had sex, I thought it said, demigod, which while arrogant and odd, wasn't enough to stop the arousal of my primitive monkey brain. The next time we had sex and I realized what it actually said. It really took me out of the moment and I never went back. It's hard to avoid people in a small town. But it's gotta be even harder to keep a tattoo like that from becoming quality gossip. Demigod would have been much more interesting. I once stood in line behind a lady who had, like, the bad tattoo parade going from the nape of her neck. She had, "Only God can judge me," something in Asian characters, and an ugly, faded, poorly drawn crucifix. Only God is allowed to judge her, bruh. Better delete this. For all we know, we may have just found God's user account. If so, hey God, what the fuck? I have a tramp stamp that says, "No regrets," in very fancy cursive. It's the only tattoo my dad laughed at rather than cringed. I can judge no one. NSFW tattoos. Like it's cool that you really love your girlfriend's vagina. Or that you want to showcase the ginormous imaginary dick you have. But the rest of us don't really want to see that. To be fair though, I haven't really seen these much in person. Mostly online. My ex, 6 months after we broke up, got a tattoo of me tied up shibari style on his lower arm and sent it to me. The last conversation we had while we were together was about going to a shibari class. This is an educated man who works in an office and will never be able to roll his shirt sleeves up. That would make me change my name, dye my hair, and move to a different state all on the same day. Former tattoo artist here, and it has to be infinity symbols. Especially when they want them to be unique. So they have you spend 3 hours drawing up different ways of cramming little McCasley and Braxton's names. Birth dates, birth weights, blood types, and favorite ice cream flavors in there. Fine. I'll find a way. I can work for my money. Oh, and can it also have a thin blue line in there for my husband? Sure. Lady. And maybe some birds breaking off of it. 'Cause my Mima loves birds. Sigh hhh. Yeah. Okay. And can you do it on the side of my finger in white ink? Fuck you. Get out. Bonus points on these if they walk in holding a monogrammed Yeti tumbler full of the alcohol they're trying to smuggle in. Armpit pussies. It's when someone gets 2 women's legs tattooed around their armpit hair. Yes. Till this is a thing and people are capable of being even trashier than I thought. Never underestimate a random person's trashy potential. Just saw a couple of days ago a writing on some dude. Karna isn't a bitch, just as I wrote it. He's just expressing support for his friend Karna. She might not be a saint. But she isn't a bitch. Karna is a feared warrior in the Hindu epic Mahabharata. Those creepy faces of babies. Which look like there's a little demon on your body. Baby face are so hard to get right. They don't have the same proportions as adults. Even drawings of babies are creepy 9/10 times. That stupid cliché thing that says, life, one way and, death, the other. One my sister did for a guy on his arm of a juice carton with a pussy on the side saying pussy juice. If I remember correctly it also had a droplet coming out the end of the straw. Ew. Right. Who uses a straw? When you can just drink from the tap. Save the turtles. Ones where the person gets a tattoo of someone using either their real nipple or belly button to replace the tattoo of a person's nipple or belly button. E.g. Buddha with real belly button. Shits FC King gross. Don't get one. Had a lady come into the store I was working in with a big neck tattoo that said Daddy's Girl. May have been the most shocking one I've ever seen. Unfortunately a lot of really awful obvious tattoos like that are brands, by pimps, human traffickers, skeptical smiley face. I had a friend who got tangled in that mess just out of high school. Her tattoo was actually a very cute butterfly design. Except the body and wings of the butterfly were stylized as her boyfriend pimp initials. For about everyone to see. This girl just had a cute butterfly tat behind her ear. Any image that incorporates bodily hair. I met a woman who had a dog tattooed on her leg and she would shave around the tattoo so she could pet the dog. I actually find that hilarious. The people who put words from a language they don't understand cause it's quirky and 99% of the time it isn't proofread so it doesn't say what they think it does. There should be somewhere online where, if you intend to get a tattoo in a different language, you can get it proofread by someone who knows the language. My sister-in-law doesn't speak any English. She asked for help with a tattoo after she got over a serious illness. She wanted, I can do it, alongside Rosie the Riveter in past tense, as a way of showing she had recovered. She doesn't actually know who Rosie the Riveter is. But that's besides the point. Ignoring my explanation, Sil now has. I could do it, on her forever. Know a girl who tattooed her firstborn's name as a tramp stamp. Not what I would want someone to be looking at while tagging from behind. A reminder that she's ovulating and that you are making a significant commitment. I was in line behind a guy who had a tattoo on his neck of 2 obese, naked cartoon women going at it. Tongues hanging out, flying sweat drops, the works. What else is he supposed to jerk off to? It's on his neck. It's more of a public service than a personal use thing. Could be jerking off in front of a mirror. Some vague inspirational quote that in all likelihood the tattooee didn't even choose before they went to the tattoo parlor, but rather selected from a pre-chosen list written up by the parlor. A misspelled tattoo. A purposely misspelled tattoo makes sense. I meant ones that were by accident. LMAO. I know a guy from high school who got the word stronger as his first tattoo. When he showed people, everyone noticed it was spelled as stronger. He then went on and tried to make up a BS story about the missing R has a deep meaning. I'm a tattoo artist. Had a regular come into the shop. He was an older swinger type and my coworker tattooed him. He got Pinocchio tattooed above his junk with his penis as the nose. And script that said, lie to me, try not to judge tattoos, but I figured you'd all appreciate this one. Any tattoo with something in Chinese or Japanese written on it. I am learning Japanese cuz why not? And I saw this dude with a tattoo saying sakana, fish. I was like, hey, what does that mean? And he said poison. He may have typed poisson into Google Translate lol. I recall seeing a story of a dude that had refrigerator spelled in katakana on his right biceps. His Japanese buddy laughed at him and asked him if he knew what it meant. He showed his left bicep, with the picture of a refrigerator on it.